everyone, I'm Surabhi Verma. I'm Director of Sparsh for Children. We work with children with autism, learning difficulties and attention deficit hyperactive disorders, that is ADHD. I'm sure you have in your daily life heard of these terms somewhere or the other, maybe in schools, maybe from your child, or maybe in various movies or documentaries. But so today I am here to talk a little bit more in detail about children, and if you have a child with these difficulties at home, then what to do with them and how to help them further in addition to various therapies that the child might be taking, how to help child at home. So these podcast series is essentially about children on spectrum and what to do with them, or what activities to do with them in school, in the home environment. Right, so our first set of 6 episodes is going to be developing social skills, developing early communication in children on spectrum. As we all know, autism spectrum disorders is a spectrum of children having certain difficulties, specific difficulties, such as difficulty in socialization, communication, and rigidities in thought. So when we have a child who has difficulty in socialization and communication, the first and foremost difficulty that many of our children have is an inappropriate eye contact or eye gaze, which is associated with lack of name response in our children. So what does that mean in English? That when we call our child's name, they don't respond, they don't turn back and look at us. They don't give us an eye contact to signal that they have heard what we are going to try to talk to them, or they have made that connect with us, that they are connecting with us to talk to us. They are ready to take information, they are ready to take in information. So, the first set of activities when our child is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder should be for the parents to build in a meaningful eye contact. The first set of activities that we are going to start with is developing meaningful eye contact or eye gaze. To encourage the eye contact, first thing we need to keep in mind is we need to have lots and lots of toys and motivating material around that our children love to play with. They naturally want those things, right? It could be anything. If a child loves a rattle, they love a packet of kurkure, they want a toy. So we need to have all those things in the environment with us, right? And we start by building the eye contact by holding those things near us, right? The objects and the toys are always with the parent. Most thing the parents need to do is enter your child's world. Now you must have heard this line and term and read about it many times, but what exactly does that mean? So that in simple terms, just imitate your child. Just be with your child and do the actions that the child is doing when he's happy. So when you see your child happy, looking out a window, playing with a piece of paper, or maybe jumping and flapping the hands, or maybe running in the house, or if you see the child, playing a ping pong game, just join in, all right? But don't take the game away from them. Tricks to do, how to do that is going one step below the child. So your eye contact, it should be easier. You should be one step below the child's eye level, not higher. So if the child is standing and the child is short, then you need to go on your knees so that you are it's easy for the child to look at you. It needs to be very natural for the child to look at you while flapping and do exactly what the child is doing. Whatever your child is doing, if the child is playing with a paper, well, you take the similar kind, don't take his paper. Take similar paper and play next to the child in the same pattern. It may look or it may sound difficult or different from our neurotypical play, but believe me, that's the first step of initiation of eye contact. You will see that eventually the child will look at you, and that will happen naturally. The child will give you a gaze that, just in appreciation or in surprise that, okay, my mom knows how to play my game. And that's where we build the first step. That's how we build the first step. Post this, once this level of eye contact and eye gaze has been established, the child will automatically start looking out for you because he's doing a play and he wants his mama or his papa to be part of that play, because you are not trying to pull the child out of his life, out of his fun activities. You are entering his world. So that is where we start. The second step generally is to pick up all the toys, whether it is that paper or whether that's ping pong game. Pick it up, keep it next to you. So have all the toys that the child would want next to you, and then before giving the child that toy, just bring it close to your face and take the name of your child. It can be X, it can be Y, it can be Ravi, Avyan, Rahul. So just take the name of your child, wait for 5 seconds and then give it to him, because he's going to look at you. The moment he looks at you, even if fleeting, just let him look at you and you give that object to your child. And that's where the first eye contact, the first connect begins. It's very important to work on eye contact at different time. Parents sometimes tell me that, okay, I did that for 5 minutes, and it worked really well. But then I had to go into kitchen, or I had to, get something ready. And what I tell parents is, do it every time of the day. In the kitchen, if there are things that your child wants, when eating food, if you know that you have rajma chawal or you have aloo paratha or child's favorite food, you bring it up to your face and then say, yay, aloo paratha. And that's when you start giving it to your child, because that's when your gaze started. The child looked at you, he associated aloo paratha, and then you take the child's name and you say, Avyan, ya Rahul, aloo paratha, and then you start giving it. And therefore, the eye contact activities need to be spread out throughout the day during various activities. It can be during bath time, it can be during getting dressed up, it can be while going to the school on the scooter or a bike, it could be, getting into the bus, it could be going for the therapy class. Every time that even to open the door of your car to get the child out, take the eye contact, like X and Rahul, and then you open door, and then you open the door. So don't think that it has to be on the tabletop. It has to be while you are sitting there and making the child look at you with the toys and things. It has to be everywhere, but make sure the environment is less distracting. If there's too much noise in the market or in the school area or in the therapy room, there's a less likelihood of the child registering your sound or your voice as well during that mayhem, during that noise, right? So therefore, it has to be done in less noisy times of the day, but it has to be done even in mall, it has to be done in market, it has to be done in school, therapy, house situations. You have to think of the situation and you have to do this activity again and again and again till the time that you don't have to go to the child's level. Even if you're standing up and you're near to your child and you call their name, and they will just turn and look at you. That's when you move to the next level of activities. But this has to keep happening. Now, sometimes parents tell me that, we called our child, but, when we are next to the child, they answer. But when we are not around, they don't answer. Well, these are steps. And the first step is when you're next to your child. If you started standing up and giving the call and child does not turn around, it means child is yet not ready. You go back to one step level back. That means go again back to the eye level. Go back on your knees. And then after a few days or a few hours, try it again with more favorite activities, with activities or objects that the child absolutely loves. So try with that first. But every step, if you think the child is not responding to his name, there is no harm going back to the previous step. Eventually, slowly, steadily, if you have done it consistent times, everybody is following the same goal, whether school, whether therapy center, whether parents, whether grandparents, if everybody is following the same rule, the child will eventually start giving a meaningful eye contact even when you call them from a little bit of distance. It is extremely important to give your child enough time to register the name, right? So sometimes we as parents take the name. For example, let's call the child Tom, and we will say, Tom, 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 look at me. Tom, look what I have. And the moment we do that, our child is bombarded with too much information, and we are at risk of losing the child completely and child receding back to his old routine. Best way scenario, call the child. Tom, in your mind, count till 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the child does not respond, then you give a call again. Tom, and then again wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Post that, we are not going to call his name again from the same distance. It just means either Tom is busy doing something else or you don't have the things that Tom wants. Then what do? We go right in front of Tom, go one step lower, take his attention, say, Tom, let's play with the eggs, or let's play with the cards. And then you turn Tom towards the toy, right? So give them enough time to respond. Okay, so wait for call the child, wait, and then go in near to the child. Timing is important, right? So sometimes we may not get a very good eye contact, it might just feel that the child turned, looked back, and went back, and that is okay. That is good enough initially, because the target is not to develop in the first go. The target is not to develop the eye contact immediately. The target is for the child to start registering that the name is called, that there is something that is going to follow through after taking that name, after his name is being called. So it is important that we call the name. Even if there is a fleeting eye contact, we accept that and we give in whatever we wanted to give him, whatever toy that he wanted to play with. It is extremely important that you respect that fleeting eye contact as well, and not, say, oh no, that wasn't good enough. Last time he gave me an amazing eye contact. He looked at me, and that's when I gave him this bag of popcorn. So today I'm going to hold on to it and wait for Tom to, give me that same eye contact. It's not necessary that every time you're going to get that. It's the same as we are. Sometimes when we are in doing something really interesting, we just say, huh? And we also don't turn around and give a proper eye contact or proper name response every time to every person who is calling our name. And that's same for even our children on spectrum. Some days are going to be good days. Some days there are going to be difficulties. The child may have more sensory dysfunction that day. They may have gotten up in a bad mood. They may be going through their own baggage of stress. And to deal with that, they may not, in that particular activity, during that particular day, they may not give you a very good eye contact, and it is fine. All right, so we accept even a fleeting eye contact. We are okay with that, and we are not going to push for a full-blown eye contact. It needs to be natural as possible, right? But initially, when we are starting with, even a fleeting eye contact is good enough.
Don't you enjoy this episode and learned few things about early communication and to know more about these strategies and how to take this journey further? I'll be back very soon with our second episode. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel, and please do visit our Facebook and Instagram to find.